Understanding your podcast analytics is pivotal in the growth of your podcast. Podbean offers a variety of powerful analytic tools so you can see exactly how your podcast is performing. Let's dive into your podcast statistics and analytics. Your podcast analytics and statistics show a variety of data points about your podcast performance. This can include geolocation, your top 10 episodes, the best time to publish your episodes, and so much more. Understanding your podcast analytics is going to help you grow your show, retain your audience, and understand what content works best for your specific show. Here's a brief description of each chart and metric within your Podbean toolset. Your trending chart shows download trends for all of your episodes during the time period. User interaction shows new followers, comments, and likes within the time period within the Podbean ecosystem. Where your audience comes from shows geographic stats for a time period. Downloads by time of day is a daily and hourly chart showing your download trends. Download sources shows you the sources of downloads such as Apple Podcasts, browsers, or specific podcast apps. Top 10 episodes shows the most popular episodes during a time period. User retention gives you a picture of listener loyalty within the Podbean app. Daily listeners gives you additional insight into your audience reach. Let's walk through your Podbean Analytics dashboard. Log into your Podbean account. When you first log into your Podbean dashboard, you'll be able to review yesterday's downloads, the last 7 days of downloads, the last 30 days of downloads, and all-time downloads. You'll also be able to review a brief graph that shows you the performance within the last 14 days of your show, as well as show you some statistics for the latest 10 episodes. On the left-hand column, click on Statistics, Overview. On this page, you'll be able to view a variety of different metrics about your podcast performance. You can choose a date range for all stats and charts, except for user retention, by clicking the dates on the calendar. Let's dive into each tool. The trending chart shows downloads for all episodes during the selected time period. From the chart, you'll be able to view details of downloads by episode on that date by clicking the dot. User interaction is the number of new followers, comments, and likes within the selected time period, and the total number of followers, comments, and likes from the listeners within the Podbean app. Where your audience comes from is your geographic stats for the time period. Map and list show the downloads from all countries. You can also click World, USA, Canada, Australia, UK, Sweden, or Germany tabs to see detailed statistics down to the state or province. This graph can be helpful in addressing your audience's needs, creating content, inviting guests from certain areas, focusing on the best advertisers, and making marketing and other decisions for your podcast. Downloads by time of day is a 24-hour chart by day showing your download trends. Hover over the chart to view the total number of downloads for each hour of each day in the selected time period. Using this tool, you'll gain a deeper insight into your listeners' podcast engagement trends. Based on this information, you may want to schedule your new episodes to be released before the peak download times to meet your listeners' preferences, which can enhance your podcast's traffic. Download sources shows you the sources of your downloads, such as Apple Podcasts, browsers, or specific podcast apps. You can click View More to see all of the download sources. Hovering over the agent displays the downloads during the selected time period. You can discover which platforms are most important for your podcast and be sure to pay attention that your podcast gets updated and shown properly in them. It may also help you to make smart decisions about doing podcast promotion on various platforms and apps where you know you're getting the most listeners, or consider efforts to develop more listeners on new platforms. You can also click the Export CSV file to export your content to a spreadsheet. Top 10 episodes shows you the top 10 most downloaded episodes during the time period. This is a great tool to review the type of content that's performing well for your podcast. Based on this information, you can understand what content draws the biggest audience for your podcast. This might be related to subject matter, type of guest, or having a guest versus not having a guest, or the format of your show. You can also change the date range to review any evergreen podcast content that has attracted more downloads over time. User retention gives you a picture of listener loyalty within the Podbean app. This chart shows the number of listeners each week and the percentage retained over the most recent 7 weeks. Hovering over 1 week displays the number and retention rate. Click the link in the description of this video to learn more about the user retention tool. Daily listeners gives you additional insight into your audience reach. A listener is the unique combination of IP address plus user agent for playing a podcast on a calendar day. The graph shows you the number of daily unique listeners. This means if a user listens to multiple episodes in a day or plays your podcast multiple times, you will see multiple downloads, but only one unique listener. The daily listener number gives you an idea of how many people your podcast reached daily. On the left-hand column, click on Statistics, Episodes. Here, you can review the top 10 most downloaded episodes during a time period. You can edit the time period by clicking on the drop-down menu on the top right corner. To find your best performing or most popular episodes, you can compare episodes in a date range such as in the last 30 days or 12 months. On the left-hand side, click the green Compare button and select the episodes to compare. You can also click the blue Export button to export your data to a spreadsheet. Podbean provides you the best way to compare your episodes with this type of analysis. We show you the first week, first month, and all-time download numbers for each episode, line by line. So whenever an episode was published, you can compare your episodes for that time. So whenever the episode was published, you can compare your episodes for that time period they're published in a week or a month, which are the periods that tend to contribute the most downloads for each episode. In this way, you can clearly see which episode is the most popular and identify top-performing content. Additionally, if you see the first week and the first month downloads increase when you compare episodes published this year with the ones published last year, it indicates you have more followers and loyal listeners who are consuming your podcast. For more tips, tricks, and how-to videos, visit our website at support.podbean.com. You can also email our team at support@podbean.com and check out more awesome videos here in our channel. Get started podcasting today at www.podbean.com. And as always, happy podcasting.